Let's go through LeetCode 322 coin change. For this question, it give us an coins integer array and amount. Let's find for this amount the minimal fewest number of coins you need to make up the amount. So intuitively we can consider, we know this will use a DP to do this kind of question. We'll have these coins inside. And we're going to have what is my two-dimensional DP equals new int n plus 1 and amount plus 1, right? And return what? Return n DP an amount. So the n is that the use of previous dpij, right? dpij means so we use the first ice coin to compose amount j, the minimal number, right? So let's say for let's say dp 0 0. That means to compose the amount 0. That is the with no coins. The minimal number is 0, right? We don't need to have any coin. So we can have this, but because the initial value which is 0, if we don't have this, it is fine. So I have for int I equals equals 1, right? Smaller equal to n I plus plus, right? So let's say for int j equals 0, j smaller equal to amount j plus plus, right? Let's say dp I j equals dp I minus 1 j. And also, let's say if this j is greater or equal to amount coin, I minus 1, right? This one is greater this one. We can also compose the dp ij from dp I j minus once I minus 1 plus 1, right? So this is another combination. So we'll say this dp ij will be start minimum, right? And with this one, right? So this will be the solution, kind of straightforward. dp ij equals j minus coins minimal. The thing is that for this kind of DP, right? We need to because we want a minimum, so we'll have the initial value. For example, private static int I for integer dot max value. That's move 2 digits, right? So let's say for array in DP, let's have arrays fill array I mean something like this so that we can use a minimum amount. So J plus 1 J greater equals then this one let's say this one is the minimal IT minus DP, this one plus 1, right? And the DP IT. Of course, if this one equals IF, then we return minus 1, so we cannot compose, otherwise we have DP and amount. But this is still not correct. This is minus 1. Twice less DP. Well, how sorry, and we because we feel this one as IF, right? We know this one should be 0, right? So this kind of DP will be a multiple by, for example, this is a multiple by the amount, right? So that's what the time complexity and the space is also the same. And also because this one only depends on the value of the previous value, right? So we can also use the ruling array to have it to be 2 multiple by the amount or space, right? And also for this question, we'll see the dpij only depend on the previous value and also the upper value, right? So we can use a left value and then the top upper value to calculate current value. So because we are going to this kind of directions every time, going to this direction, so we can simplify this kind of DP into one-dimensional array. I remember there is another question called which also is like a backpack, but the value is depend on this value and this value, and every time we calculate, we should for the J, right? We should calculate from the end to the some kind of value, right? To the left. But for this one, because this is depend on the left value and the upper value, we are calculate from this two, right? So if we change it to one-dimensional array, we just iterate from left to right. So let's write code for this. We don't need to have a two-dimensional array. We just need to have one-dimensional array, right? And we just need to have arrays fill array I in F to be fine. And we don't need this. And dp0 is 0. And this one, we can simplify this kind of code to be something like this. From J from once I minus 1, right? And dpi dpj equals mass dot min dpj dpj minus once I minus 1, right? In the end, we just need to try to see whether dp amount whether we can compose or not. So in this case, we can simplify these questions into one-dimensional array. Plus 7. Arrays fill dp. Amount plus 1. dpj j minus j minus coins. The thing is that we need to add 1, right? Because we have just like here, right? That is we are calculating from the left to the right. Don't forget there is a 1 here. And also we can simplify code. For example, coins, so that we don't need to have even n here. Just from this coin to amount, right? So this will be looks much simpler for the code. This should be minus coin. Okay. So for this one, the time complexity will also still be n multiplied by amount, but space complexity will be amount.